conscious.
This is Tiffany Lucas, a Kentucky mother who will soon realize there is no way to explain or escape what she did to her own children.
Ma'am, what's your name? Huh?
Tiffany.
I can't hear you.
Tiffany.
Tiffany?
Mm-hmm.
All right, Tiffany, I'm going to change these handcuffs out, okay? And then I'm going to roll you over and I'm going to sit you up, all right?
The first real glimpse into what happened inside that house doesn't come from body cam. It comes from a neighbor standing in their own living room trying to explain something that doesn't make sense to a 911 operator.
My neighbor just came up to my door and just passed out, and I can't get her to wake up. She's
okay. Is she breathing?
She is.
How old is she?
I would say in her early 30s. And now she's screaming that the kids are dying. Stay here.
Do we know what happened to him?
I have no idea. We just found our neighbor, the woman, their mom, just freaking out in my yard.
Okay, and how old is he?
Oh my God, he's I don't know. He's probably 6. There's blood all over the bed. There's a gun. Oh my God.
Was he shot?
I don't see a gunshot wound. Okay, there's 2 of them. They're both here. They're breathing.
Okay. There's 2 children?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, is she able to tell you what's going on or what happened?
No. Do you know what happened? No. She is shaking. She's on something, freaking out. I don't know. She's just laying here now on her stomach.
The 911 call ends, and the body cam begins. Officers pull up to Bentwood Drive expecting confusion, maybe a medical emergency, but what they find is a mother lying face down in a neighbor's driveway, barely responsive, trembling, and unable to stand.
Ma'am, what's your name? Huh?
Tiffany.
I can't hear you.
Tiffany.
Tiffany?
Mm-hmm.
All right, Tiffany, I'm going to change these handcuffs out, okay? And then I'm going to roll you over and I'm going to sit you up, all right?
Deputies kneel beside her, swap her handcuffs, and try to get her upright. She's awake, she's talking, but nothing she says explains why neighbors are screaming about kids inside.
Ready? 1, 2, 3. Have you taken anything? Have you been drinking? Then why can't you stand up?
Inside the home, EMS is already working. 2 officers step into the hallway. A bedroom door is open, and that's where they see what the neighbor tried to describe on the 911 line. 2 boys on the floor, both with head wounds, both unresponsive.
I think it's on the bed, but they look around. Yeah. And I'm not trying to interrupt.
I got you. No, I got you.
So we did clear it out.
Cool.
Outside, the deputies still don't know what happened, only that the mother they're holding keeps slipping in and out of focus. When they ask if she took anything, she shakes her head. When they ask why she can't stand, she murmurs that she just doesn't feel right. They place her in the patrol car as EMS prepares to transport the boys. Officers begin clearing the house, looking for a weapon. Detectives begin arriving. Officers line up statements. The entire yard turns from a chaotic response into an organized crime scene.
She come over here, fell out in the driveway. His wife seen it, which Christina got a statement from him. She got him, and apparently she told him that she shot her kids. He went over and looked and seen them, and then came over here and called.
And this is this guy right here?
Yeah. The gentleman in the green shirt and the female in the black pants and green shirt. Christina got a statement from them. I changed out the handcuffs so we didn't have to worry about that. Got her off of her face, rolled her over on her butt, got her up, put her in my car, turned the AC on.
She was told she was detained, right?
Oh yeah, she knew. The only thing she has said to me since that is, are they still alive?
From here, the investigation moves off the driveway and into the interrogation room, where her story becomes stranger, fragmented, and unlike anything detectives expected to hear. For your information, Tiffany is escorted inside the Bullitt County Sheriff's office. She walks slowly, unsteady but not due to injuries. EMS already confirmed she has no visible trauma, no ear wound, nothing that supports her injuries claims earlier. Deputies help her into a chair, and the moment she sits, her body slumps sideways, almost theatrical, almost like she's collapsing again. When the detective sits down, Tiffany opens with the line worn into the public record.
I know I look crazy, but I'm not.
Huh?
Because I know I look crazy, but I'm not crazy.
I don't think you look crazy. I'm just trying to... if I'm going to talk to someone, I'd rather know who they are. I can tell you a little bit about me.
I love my children.
You tell me a little bit about you. Okay.
I love my children. I love my boys so much.
I know.
I wouldn't hurt them, but I just feel like I didn't. I felt back, and I didn't.
Her volume is low, her words trailing, yet her thought pattern seems organized enough to explain what she believes happened. People who haven't been accused yet don't usually begin with, "I'm not crazy," or "I love my boys. I wouldn't hurt them." This is what investigators call a preemptive denial, a psychological defense that appears before the detective even accuses. It's a red flag because it signals the suspect already knows what the truth is. When the detective asks about her children, the answers become fragmented.
I was letting them play the video games, and I wasn't focusing how I was supposed to, and they get that video game and the YouTube and the kids, it just messes their minds up to where people can manipulate their parents or do whatever they want. And I feel like someone put something upon my house or me or something. I just don't feel right. I'm not, I don't do this. I love my kids.
This becomes cognitive disorganization without loss of awareness. She is vague, but she's not hallucinating, not speaking in unrelated fragments, not losing the thread of conversation. Detectives later note she remains oriented, responsive, and able to discuss past events. Her references to manipulation, Facebook, Wi-Fi, gaming consoles, are externalized blame. In forensic interviewing, this is a pattern seen when suspects attempt to distance themselves from intent. The detective gently tests her consistency.
How old are your boys?
Jaden's 9, Marcus is 6.
The more she talks, the more she shifts responsibility outward, a classic redirection technique. As the interview progresses, she adds another layer. She said that it was accidental. Maybe the gun went off, that she left it in the bedroom. This directly contradicts neighbor testimony. He said she told him she shot the kids, officers' statements, she admitted she shot them, and crime scene facts, both boys with head wounds, a single firearm, no signs of struggle. And also, a firearm does not accidentally discharge twice at two separate victims, at the same spot, the head. Throughout the interview, she does not ask what happened inside the home. She does not ask who else was there, about the gun, or to see her boys as if she loved them like she said. She asks only one thing. Are they still alive? Her question is specific. She already knows they were fatally injured. By the time the interview ends, detectives already have the spine of their case. Direct admission to neighbor, location of both boys and firearm, wounds consistent with intentional shooting, multiple inconsistent statements, attempted self-injury, fabrication, no physical impairment, no evidence of forced entry or third party. They determined the deaths of Jaden and Maurice were not accidental, not coerced by social media, not the result of sudden mental break alone, but deliberate acts carried out by their mother. And that conclusion would ultimately guide the judge's decision.
I cannot imagine the sheer horror these children must have experienced seeing their mother with a gun.
By the time Tiffany Lucas steps into the courtroom, the investigation is already airtight. But court isn't just about evidence. It's about hearing the truth, spoken aloud, in front of the families who lost everything. The first to walk up is Jaden's grandmother. She's lost her son before. Now she's lost her grandson too.
Miss Rowland, you are Jaden's grandmother, is that correct? Yes. And would you like to address the court with your victim impact statement? Yes. When you're ready, go ahead. know we love Jaden and Maurice. You know Jaden was the only thing we had left. And you took him from us. You know I had already lost his dad. And then my other son. And then you took Jaden. You have ripped our lives apart. And you know that you could have gave them kids to us, and we would have took care of them. But you have been selfish. My heart is in pieces. And you know that you have always had a place to drop them off. You took him from me, and I hurt every day. Every second of the day, I hurt. And I hope they give you 2 life sentences without the possibility of parole. I want you to suffer just like I'm suffering right now. They did not deserve that. You took my little man from me. And we all love him so much, Jaden and Maurice. Oh, I remember that he called me Nana and told me he loved me. And it took him forever to cuddle with me. But Jaden is our blood. Oh God, oh Lord, give me strength. You have hurt so many people, Tiffany. Jaden had cousins that loved him. Melody and Torn. Torn sleeps with a teddy bear and a picture of Jaden every night. I don't have nothing else to say. She just knows, she knows she done ripped us apart.
Mr. Taylor, any additional questions?
No other question.
Any questions from the defense?
No.
Is this witness free to be excused?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you, ma'am. You're welcome to have a seat back in the courtroom or leave the courthouse.
Next comes Maurice's aunt, and she doesn't hesitate.
Tiffany, on November 8, 2023, you changed the lives of 2 beautiful boys. You broke my brother's heart, my heart, and the heart of anyone who ever encountered them. Jaden and Maurice didn't see you for who you really are. They loved you so much, but at the end of the day, you became what children their age fear the most, a monster. Not for 1 minute do I believe, like you said, you were in a hard spot. You had support in so many ways that you could have used. Like I often told you when we spoke, being a good mom is also making the decision that you can't give the boys the best life and allowing another parent to step in. But you refused to do so selfishly because it wouldn't align with what social media saw. Instead, you decided to play God and decide the boy's faith. I often see these court shows where the defendants are forgiven by the victim's family, but not today, not by me. I will never forgive you. I struggle and often wonder what else kind of pain did they endure at the hands of you before you ultimately took their lives. Part of this statement I was gonna write, I hope every day you close your eyes that they haunt you, but I don't. You don't deserve to see them, and they shouldn't see you. If he decides to give you any kind of leniency today and grant you parole at some point, bitch, I'll be there at every parole hearing. Do you hear me? I'll be there at every parole hearing.
She promises to be at every parole hearing, even though no one's sure parole will ever come. Then another aunt stands. Her anger is quieter, but sharper.
Maurice?
Yes.
And what would you like to tell the court?
I just want to tell the court, and mainly Tiffany, that you took away our chance to have a relationship with my nephew. When my brother called me, I wondered how he's doing, and I answered the phone so quick. I hope he's okay. Because I remember how you broke him. So at 12:30 at night when he calls me, if I don't answer that phone, if I don't see that phone call, I'm in such agony because I wonder, is he okay? Do you need me? That's my answer to him. His son is gone. You can never bring him back. And there is nothing and no amount of time that this court could give you that is fair. Life expectancy is about 70 years. You took 60 from them. Anything less than 60 for both of them or each of them is not even enough.
I have no further questions.
Any questions from the defense?
No.
Thank you, ma'am. Is she free to be excused?
Yes, Your Honor.
You may either go back to your seat or leave the courtroom.
The weight of those words sits heavy. And then the sentence: life in prison for 9-year-old Jaden Howard case and life in prison for 6-year-old Maurice Baker Jr. case. 2 life sentences. Under Kentucky law, the way her case is structured means she will not be eligible for parole. The door is completely closed.
Probation pre-sentence report, arguments of counsel, the contents of the file, and no sufficient reason having been shown by judgment not be pronounced in sentence imposed. Case number 23 CR 404, Commonwealth of Kentucky versus Tiffany Lucas as to count 1. The court will adjudge the defendant guilty of the offense of murder and fix her sentence at life in prison. On count 2, the court will adjudge the defendant guilty of the offense of murder and fix her sentence at life in prison. This time, the court will order that the Sheriff's Department deliver the defendant to the custody of the Corrections Cabinet for service of her sentence of imprisonment. That's all for today. Court will be adjourned.
And that's where this case ends, not with answers, not with closure, but with a sentence that reflects the magnitude of what was lost. At the end of the day, this case doesn't leave anyone with a sense of victory, only the reminder that real lives, real families, and real children sit behind every headline. Jaden and Maurice should still be here, 2 families should still be whole, and a community that rallied for these boys will carry their memory far longer than this courtroom ever will. If there's one thing we can take from their story, it's this: when something feels wrong, when a parent is overwhelmed, when a child may be unsafe, when family members are begging for help, early action can save lives. Reaching out isn't interference, it's protection. I'll see you tomorrow on the next episode. Stay safe, take care of each other, and as always, thanks for watching.